I was just like, you know what, like, if I can't do it on football, like, I just want people to know about you, God. Like, how can I use my platform that you gave me to know about you? And that's what I did. You know what I mean? And through my foundation, I do that every summer through football camps and everything like that. But now that I'm, talking to you, I'm sitting here and I'm like, wow, like, if I had never sat out this year, I may have never had the time to complete this book or fully finish the book. You know what I mean? And now I'm sitting here, I'm like, wow, like, I really feel like I'm in the intermission of something. Like, I'm going to finish this book and it's out there. And, when I finish my next 6 years and hopefully 2 to 3 Pro Bowls, Super Bowl ring and stuff like that, I can really look back on it and be like, wow, like, God works in mysterious ways. I had a period of time where I was down and I was out and I didn't know what to do. You know what I mean? But now, I have the book out and people can see who I am. And as I continue to keep going, my story's not over. At the end of my story in the book, it says, I'm a free agent and, I'm trusting and believing that God has a lot more for me. And then it just stops. Right. Nobody knows that, I'm going to go play in the AAF and nobody knows that I'm going to go back to the NFL and continue to keep playing. So, yeah, all I can say is, man, is I'm just blessed and excited.
You are blessed, and I don't know if you'll make a difference as a Pro Bowl player, Super Bowl champ. I hope you do, but there's no doubt in my mind you're going to make a big difference in this world. I mean, most people don't say, hey, I'm a pro football player. Let me find something else to do to influence people. And you did, and you should be very proud of that, as I'm sure you are. You mentioned your foundation, the Faith Motivated Foundation. Seems like the perfect place for developing kids with this attitude that you have. What is the Faith Motivated Foundation, and how do you deliver your message to the kids that you serve?
So the Faith Motivated Foundation, I founded it, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. And our mission statement is just to, man, I haven't recited my mission statement in so long, but all in all, it's just about encouraging kids to believe in themselves and to believe in themselves, never give up, and to do everything, through Christ, to live healthy lifestyles through Christ. And at the same time, a lot of kids don't know who Christ is, or they have different religions. And I don't force religion on any of the kids or anybody who comes in contact with me. All I do is I just share my testimony and live my life. And when I do that, they become interested. And they say, okay, so wait, how do you do this? You know what I mean? And I believe that, when kids are, especially where I'm from in the Philadelphia area, there's a lot of, violence, and it's just a hard place to grow up sometimes. So when kids have, somebody like me or others that they can look up to and see, no, I don't drink or I don't go out and party and carry on, no, I'm not perfect. I do make mistakes, but at the same time, I have a God that, I believe in and who helps me, conquer, certain things. And these kids really, really tap into that and they look into it. So through my foundation, I just try to give kids encouragement, to not to ever give up on their dreams. If they have a dream, like, go chase after it. They have that dream for a specific reason. That's because God gave it to them. But, there's going to be trials and tribulations. You got to work hard to go achieve your dream. And I try to bridge that gap between football and sports and God, because a lot of people think, it's separate. But, I try to be the guy who makes it cool here. Like, hey, man, like, I go to church, I chill, I play video games, I go out when I want to. But at the end of the day, like, my heart is totally towards the Lord, and, that's why I'm successful. So.
Well, it is a great outreach. I mean, the kids, we all say this, right? But the kids are our future, and the fact that you're out there and developing them in ways that many of us can't is really honorable, and thank you for doing that. The website is www.faithmotivated.org. And I know you run camps, so I'm hoping listeners will get out there, especially in their Philadelphia area, and get out there and support this really amazing foundation. And Steven, it really is great that you do that. Really quick question on the foundation, and I'm a big dreamer, man, so I always ask weird questions like this. If resources were not an issue, if you had all the money in the world and could do anything you want, what would be a program or event that you would do to reach the most amount of kids? What's that dream program for the Faith Motivated Foundation?
Man, to tell you the truth, I have a couple.
Okay.
So I wanted to build a school, and the school is going to be called Faith Motivated. It'll be a private school, and at the same time, it'd be in the greater Philadelphia area where we would take kids who, didn't have as many opportunities, that other kids may have, and we would put them in the school, teach them the correct curriculum and everything. And also we would have a dope football team, basketball team. And this would be a high school, and kind of like IMG or what Deion Sanders is doing with Prime U.
Yeah, Prime U.
And stuff like that.
Yep.
So I wanted to do that. I wanted to have a school, have kids, give them a real good opportunity to go to big colleges. And then also I wanted to host a concert in my hometown, and there's this big field. I wanted to, build a stage and have everybody come out and have some dope artists come out, have your hip hop artists come out.
Sure.
Everybody loves Lil Wayne and Jay-Z and Drake and all those guys.
Sure.
Have some of those guys come out, but then also have some Christian rappers like Lecrae and Andy Mineo come out and just mix the vibe up, man. And those are like my dream things to definitely do in my foundation.
That's great.
And I think if I could do that, man,
be a pretty good start, wouldn't it?
I don't know. Yeah, that'd be a pretty good
well,
start.
for you,
man.
Steven,
I think go from there.
I was going to say for you that wouldn't be the end, man. That would just be intermission. All of a sudden, we would have the state of Steven Johnson. I mean, I say I'm a big dreamer, but you've proven me to be a little minnow in the pool of big dreamers, man. And it's great. Yeah. Steven, as if that's not enough, I noticed you started a couple of commercials here for Hero Football. I'd like to know what Hero Football is all about, but more importantly, during the commercials, which include you working out and you doing a lot of football drills, it seemed to send a message to young men and women and athletes that why not you? And that seems like a really good message. Can you just please take a minute to talk to us about what Hero Football is and what it's all about?
Well, so first you said I was an author and a football player. Now I've actually started my own brand, so I'm a CEO of a brand now, too. And this brand I actually started 3 years ago. I just got done rebranding it, so I changed the logo up, and it's always been called Hero. And my tagline is, why not you? And once again, this stems all off of my faith-motivated message. And what why not you stands for is, there's always that kid who's like, man, I can't do this. Like, these guys are stronger than me. These guys are faster than me. Like, these guys are smarter than me. You know what I mean? And then I was that kid, but I made it.
Yeah.
So now I'm just like, wait a minute, like, why not you? Why can't you do it? You know what I mean? So now this brand has launched. As you can see, if you've seen my, first two commercials, this brand has launched. And right now I'm in the production phase of making a whole bunch of football merchandise.
Okay.
So I'm talking, from everything from accessories, sleeveless hoodies, everything. If you follow Nike, football, Adidas, Under Armour, or Battle, the next brand that's going to come up now is Hero.
Okay.
And so I'm definitely hoping to be a top competitor amongst those brands. Next July, or this upcoming July, is when I'll have a lot of my merchandise. And that website is going to be herosports.com. And that website is probably going to launch around March, April, May sometime. And this is just another thing, just like the book, that I kind of have in the wings that I've been working on. And when that launches, it's going to be huge. Like right now, I've got 2 Little League football teams. I actually have to put a potentially Olympic swimmer who wants to wear all of my Hero stuff.
Nice.
In all swimwear when he makes it. So I have a lot of things going on right now with Hero. So I'm just, praying and hoping that the brand takes off. And right now, I'm making, small investments that hopefully I can, turn this company into a multi-million-dollar company. And I'm just in the production phases. So I'm making everything and getting all my tech packs done. And I got to ship it out to my manufacturers in China, Mexico, and the Philippines.
Sure. And
get all the samples back and testing and all that stuff. So, definitely look out for Hero Sports. And you definitely Hero Football. It's definitely going to be a pretty good organization, pretty good company that you're definitely going to want to wear our stuff in the next years to come.
I look forward to it. Do you ever sleep, Steven? Is there any sleep in your schedule, my man? I mean, my goodness. I can't imagine you get much.
Yeah, I sleep, but I want to say before I go to sleep, I'm just daydreaming for about an hour, just thinking of stuff. So
That's awesome. That's awesome, man. Well, hey, one last couple questions here. What's next for you, man? What is your 5-year plan? You've hit on a lot of things, but I have to think that there's other than being a Pro Bowler and all that, there's got to be something else that we haven't covered in your 5-year plan. You got something for me there?
Yeah. Other than football, I definitely want to build my brand. That's number one. Definitely want to continue the series on my book. And for that, I don't tell many people this, but I've always wanted to act in a movie. And I've been saying that since I was a little kid. So I'll definitely tag along or kind of mess around with the acting a little bit. And then from there, after that, when my career is done, I definitely want to coach. I had dreams of being a adult linebacker coach somewhere and learning more about the game of football and continue to keep learning. And hopefully one day, when I'm like 50 or 60, I'll be a head coach somewhere. And then, coaching football. And then other than that, man, I just want to, build a big house for my family and be able to live life comfortable because, I've been through a lot.
Yeah, you have. You deserve it. You deserve it all, man. Your story is incredible. I really appreciate you taking all this time. I'm going to put you on the spot here real quick and then let you go. You got a lot of friends in the league, so I don't want to put you on the spot too much, but give me your Super Bowl winner and why here. Come on, who's going to win the Super Bowl this year?
Super Bowl winner, man. To be honest, I didn't think I would ever say this, but I'm kind of rooting. Okay, I grew up an Eagles fan, right?
Sure.
So, I for some reason, I just think Nick Foles has got the juice. Like, I think he's got, like the swag. Like, he's somehow going to get back to the Super Bowl and like might win it. But for some reason, I'm kind of rooting for the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, and I don't know why. I don't want the Patriots to go.
I'm a Buffalo fan, man. If I'm the Buffalo fan. Patriots go, I'm gonna riot, dude. So I'm with you there, man. So hey, yeah. Who's your favorite team now? I mean, I know you're out of league. You're out of league this year. Did you have a team you were rooting for? I know you played for the Broncos, the Steelers. Any team that you were really rooting for this year?
It's when you play in the NFL, man, it kind of takes the fan out of it.
Right.
But if there was any team, it'd probably be the Eagles, man. I spent 18 years as a diehard Eagles fan, so if they went back to the Super Bowl and won, I would be a little happy for them.
All right,
if anybody other than that, yeah.
Well, I forgot to ask you this question. I got to ask everybody from Philly this question, right? Pat Geno's or somewhere else? What's your choice there? Where do you get your cheesesteaks from?
Oh no, it's definitely somewhere else. You just got to go to a hole in the wall and get a cheesesteak.
Steven, that is dead on. There is nothing like a hole-in-the-wall cheesesteak from a place in Philly. So thanks, man. Hey, Steven, thank you so much for your time today. The message you have, not just in your book, A Walk in Our Cleats, that you really want to go out and get a copy of, but also just through the Faith Motivated Foundation, everything else you have going on. Steven, thank you so much for joining us. We look forward to talking to you again, and best of luck with everything you have going on.
Okay. Cool. Thank you, man. No problem.
All right, Steven. Good luck with Arizona. We'll talk to you soon. That was Steven Johnson, and I can't thank him enough for giving me as much time as he did for that interview. There's just so many things to cover there. Primarily I think the message that comes through with Steven is he is a Christian football player, not just a football player, and his messaging just is consistent through his faith, and it's strong, and he's got a lot of different avenues, and he does not let the grass grow under his feet. He's an incredible story, and I really enjoy talking to him. I think he has a bright future in football, hopefully, but if not, he has a bright future influencing a lot of young people and a lot of people in general around this world. So, hey, get out there, please, buy a copy of A Walk in Our Cleats by Steven Johnson. It is a good read. Get it for a young athlete in your life, and give it a read yourself, because it really is worth it. Okay, we're going to take a quick break now. We'll be back. This is Cinder Sports, and I am Jon O'Donnell. And welcome back to Cinder Sports. I am your host, Jon O'Donnell, and we are live from the Dream Big Studios. We are going to wrap up today's show here. I hope you enjoyed the interview with Steven Johnson. He really is an incredible young man. I really hope you'll go out and buy a copy of his book, A Walk in Our Cleats, and follow him just to see where he ends up. I think he's going to be a contributor for the Arizona Hotshots, and I wouldn't rule him out making a comeback to the NFL at some point. And even if he doesn't, he just really seems destined to make a difference here with young people and his message. So before we wrap up, I just want to talk about the Super Bowl matchup. As many of you know, I am part of a weekly radio show